All right, so let me give you answers first. I don't want to post it on there. I'm just gonna give you answers. So number one, the answer is yeah. Let me finish. Okay, number one is gonna be A. It's 2 pi over 3. Number two is B is 0. Number three, not only you should find is 3, but you should find the last critical number should be at -8/7. If you do that, you're doing great. -8/7. Number four, you should do a number line test based on -1/2, 0, and 1/2 out of ax times 2x plus 1, 2x minus 1. You should get -1/2 as a minimum. Number four is D. Number five, if you factor out the most negative, you're gonna get 1/3, and you do a number line test. You must do a number line test. Number six, I'm not gonna tell you right now, but I think a lot of people make mistake on that one. Number seven is 16. Number eight, I'm not gonna tell you that one either. Number nine, a lot of people make mistake on that one. I'm gonna talk about that one later. Number 10, B. Number 11, parentheses 0 to 1 and 1 to infinity, not bracket. Number 12, C. Number 13, I will talk about that one too. Number 14, I'll talk about that one. 15, 16. Auto analyzing graph, I'm going to talk to you. Now, you guys going to come up a unique way to do it. For some people, like they can figure out the functions x to the second power. So before they take a derivative, it's probably x to the third power. And something like that is good. It's good intuitively figure out because I didn't teach you how to do it. I'm going to teach you how to do it when it comes down to the graphing one, okay? So I'm going to show you the questions here. I'm going to show you on the screen. So give me a second. And any question you want me to go over on this end of the So here's the first one. Any question about first one? Second one? You gotta factor out 6x. And you have to do a number line based on 0 and half. And you'll find out it's plus, minus, plus, which is most general one. But you will see later it's not always this way. Gotta be pay attention because any questions here? No? Number 3. If you factor out the most negative, in this case is x minus 1 to the second, x plus 4 to the third. If you factor out completely, then you should get 3x plus 12 and 4x minus 4 at the end. And you should get 7x plus 8. Now remember, some people says, I gotta answer 3, I don't need to find out the third critical number. Here's the truth. All they gotta do is change you one words, and the question's completely changed. So you might as well know how to find the third critical number. Not only that, you should be able to find how to find at a maximum or minimum on top of it too. So the answer is C. This one, you gotta factor out ax, and if you factor out ax, you actually can factor more. It's gonna be ax 2x plus 1, 2x minus 1, and you just see that there's 3 lines of a number line. That's Gabby, I need to see that. When I'm looking through homework, I actually look in people's homework. People don't think I look through. I look through. And there are certain people I don't need to look through. Like think Nelly, I don't need to look through. I think her work is usually correct. Fiona, I don't look through. I don't skim. I just kind of skim it. But some of you guys, I need you to actually to be on top of it because all this question is the first time I give you multiple choice question. This is what AP exam is gonna write like. AP exam is gonna be like this. If you know how to do this, you still need to show work. You cannot just say, oh, I feel like critical number is 1/2, 0, and -1/2, so there must be all the answer. No, relative minimum need to be shown from positive to negative. Jesus, did you get this one?
Just forgot to do plus or minus, so I only got.
You only get plus minus because that's one of the algebra things that we have mentioned several times.
Yeah.
It's also on your SAT as well.
Yeah, so I messed up. I only did 1/2.
Okay, makes sense. The way to avoid it, I'm gonna show you how the way to avoid it. This one can factor more, so that way you're not gonna have the same issue. 2x plus 1 and 2x minus 1 because the difference is square. So that way you're not gonna have missing thing. So if you really have problem, you should recognize this is the difference of square. This is the difference of a square, and this is the difference of a square. So you can change that to 2x plus 1, 2x minus 1. And that's why I did it. And that's what has reduced the problems. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. This one I got C and the work there. Let me know if you have any questions. Okay, so I don't want to show you the question. The question's gonna be here. Where does relative maximum occur? Kadian? Okay. Anybody says different number? Nizar? Should be 1?
I mean, like 1 and -2.
1 and -2, okay. Jesus? -2. Connor? This is question 6. Is looking for maximum. 1, okay. Who else says 1? Raise your hand if you say it's 1. Who says -2? Oh, all that table says -2. All the white people says -2. Okay, all right, that's fair. Okay, who says different number? Okay, the answer is actually -2. Here's the reason, because this graph is the f prime of x. So f prime of x and then positive, negative. So the way I do it, here is the best way to do it. Guys, pay attention how way I did it. I'm not saying your way sucks. I'm just saying my way is better. So here's my way is better. Is you draw a number line. If you pay attention, I draw a number line on the top. Do you see that? And I also label the f prime of x looks for above or below x-axis, because above is positive, right? You will say above, you're gonna get positive output, right? If it's below, it's negative. So this one is gonna give you all the way to -2. Do you see that? All the way here is gonna be positive because they're above x-axis. So -2 to 1 is negative, and after -1 still negative. So this one has to be absolute max, not absolute max, the relative max, because it went from positive to negative. Yes.
So if it was just f of x, then it would be both -1 and 2.
No, but the question's never gonna give you f of x. That's a
What would it be?
that's a pre-calc problem. That's not a calculus problem. Calculus problem always give you f prime of x.
Wait, no, never mind.
But they're asking for f of x.
You mean f prime of x?
No, they ask for f of x. Where is the maximum occur at f of x? But they give you f prime of x graph. So you look for above or below and do a number line. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? It makes sense? I'm going to ask you again later. Now, a lot of people says, I don't know how to start this question. This question is fairly easy. It's a relative minimum at x equal to 2. Guess what? That means relative minimum, that means derivative must equal to 0. So I take a derivative, I set it equal to 0. I plug in 2, and then I solve for k. It's not rocket science, it's just, right relative minimum derivative has to be 0. Any type of minimum has to be derivative equal to 0. Because all minimum or maximum is has critical number. Okay. This question, a lot of people got confused with this question. Let's take a vote. Who vote for E? Raise your hand if you vote for E. 1? Only 1 vote for E? 2? 2 vote? Going once, going twice? Who vote for A? 1 vote as well? Okay. Who vote for B? 1 vote, okay. C? Who vote for C? Nobody? Nobody likes C. Okay. Who vote for D? Okay. D is correct. Now I want you to explain to your table why D is correct. But not only that, I want you to explain where did it occur. Not only where did it occur. At which value did it have occur at relative maximum?
Give me a moment. I don't remember.
Neil, do you understand?
The relative maximum. That's where for G, it doesn't mean the maximums are 3, so -3 is yeah.
All right, shh. Let's ask the person. Jenny, what do you think? Where do they occur? You cannot guess. You guess. You have to give me a reason why you guess that one. Wait, which graph are you talking about? H, O, F, O, G. Okay, you say it happened at 0?
-2, 0, and 2. How about? Because that's when like it goes from negative. That's 0, so it's not really positive. I don't know.
Oh no. Okay, that's fair. Benicia?
Between -1 and 0, because you can't, it's where it goes from negative to positive, but you can't include your endpoints, so that eliminates from -3 to 2.
Misha? I want to know where the relative maximum occur. At which x value relative maximum occur? Huh? 1? What is it? Bennett?
I think it's 1.
You think it's 1? Connor?
Really like thinking right now.
Gabby?
It's 1 because 0.5 is like slightly higher than 0.
I know Eli knows. I hear Eli like say the answer like 6 times. Aspen? Huh? -2. Okay. Brendan? Brendan? Eli, can you explain it? Because I know you explained it very well. It's 2?
Because the the slope is 0.5, so it's positive, and then when it hits 2, it flattens.
That was
and
what I
goes
was
back
saying.
down. No, actually goes back to negative.
Sure, Brendan. Sure.
Why is that 2 and not 1 then?
One because one is when it's the slope, so one is when it goes positive.
The 2 when it's going straight. No, I get
Okay, now you understand? You got it? Okay.
Lowering and it's actually I you know how I did it? I was like -3 and -2. Those two are both the same sign. That would be different. So it's just, I don't even know what I was thinking at all. Nothing to do with the fact.
All right, does that make sense? So AP exam, they can write a graph. They can write a question in terms of table and graph and function. So the function is all the arithmetic one. This one is a table, but table is you just have to read the table, the value. Now, is that always gonna happen at 2? I think 2 is most likely to happen because it went from positive to 0 to negative, and that has to be a peak over there. But can it happen anywhere? Actually, technically can do it because that's just very, very picky. But let's not worry about it. Just number 9. Everybody got number 9 wrong. What do you think the answer was? It has answer over there, so I don't want to show you. Sure, I can scroll down the question.
You got products cube times 3.
It's a baby that's made out of you don't see anything.
Yeah, but you I think you can look at it. Good as minimum value.
It would now not.
It's not big, bro.
What do we get for 9?
Okay, why did I say people mess up this one? Because it's minimum value of a derivative of f of x. So that means you have to take a derivative twice.
Wait, what?
Because it's asking. So if I say what's the minimum value of a function, right? What do you have to do? You have to take a derivative, right? But the problem is that it didn't say the subject is not the function. It's actually, it says derivative of f of x. So that means I need to take a derivative to find out the subject first, which is subject is f prime of x, and then I need to take a derivative again to find out where the minimum by doing number line test. And so this is a number line test I did a second derivative number line test, and I like this number line test because it has 60x squared. Guess what? Anything plugged in x squared is always positive. Make sure you understand this because you're gonna see this on your test happening soon. And you need to know this because you needed like 16x squared. X squared is always positive. So is x squared plus 4 is always positive. Anything x squared plus a positive number is always positive. So therefore it's positive, 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 negative, positive, positive. So the changing sign at -1. Now, if the question changed a little bit, do you see that I erased this part? If I erase this part, then question completely different. Why? Because it's asking, the subject becomes the minimum value of f prime of x. So at this -1, you're gonna plug into f prime of x, not f of x, because the subject is different. Like, it's like reading grammar. It's like, it's like kind of hard, and you have to understand that's what are you talking about. Yes, Brendan. Sorry.
Why do you have to take the second derivative?
Because the first derivative is gonna give you derivative of f of x, but they say they want a minimum value of derivative of f of x. So then that means once you find out f prime of x, I need to find the minimum value of that. I need to take it down to derivative to find out the number line. And the number line you have to see from negative to positive. That's why its minimum value happens.
Wait, basically, no, so you have to have the value of x, you take the derivative. So if you have the minimum value of x, like, yeah, right.
So negative.
Oh, so I'm just stupid. Okay, yeah, it's negative. Yeah, because it's like you know what I mean? I see it like they want to write it as x.
Yeah, did you get this one right? Did you get this one right? No? You didn't look at it? Can you fix it? Okay, did everybody understand before I move on? Remember, you have to read a lot of questions about reading. So a lot of time, like people like say, Mr. Can you guess my SAT score? But my first question is, I always like, I'm gonna guess your English score, but I'm gonna guess your math score, but I'm gonna ask you what's your English score first, because if your English score is high, there's higher probability that you're gonna get 30 points higher than your ability, your capability is. Because some people just can't figure out how to read. One of my best student get 1600 twice. He
Why?
because he didn't know he got a 1600 the first time.
How?
He didn't know he got a 1600 the first time. So there were 2 tests right after next to each other. So I'm trying to tell you a story. Like, he says most of the time people like reading math, they don't read the scale of the graph, which is true. A lot of people don't read the scale. Sometimes scale can change. For example, this side is 2 and this side is 1. So if you go up 2, right 1, it's no longer the slope of 2. It's actually slope of 4. So the things like that, and he says sometimes people don't read the description of the scales. A description, what the y-axis representing, what the x-axis representing. That's also very valuable information, because I was like, there was no way you got 800 math, because he failed my class. He didn't pass the calculus. He dropped out of calculus. He got 800 math. I was like, there's no way you got 800. He showed me the score. He got 800 twice. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. So I guess his score completely wrong. But he's an avid reader, though. He can figure out the answer without knowing the math. That's how good of a reader he is. So, and that's a phenomenal thing. Okay, number 10. If you take a derivative, you got 3x squared plus 12. You can recognize there was no critical number here. If you're gonna get it, it's gonna be 2i and negative 2i, and that doesn't work. So that doesn't mean you should not do a number line test. You should do it. But you're going to realize it doesn't matter what value you plug in. I'm not going to get negative. If you have x squared plus something, You'll never get negative. It's always positive. So the whole thing is positive, so increasing all the way too. This one is a very good one. You must including all critical point. -1, 0, 1. Jesus, are you paying attention?
Yes.
No, you were not before. Now you are. Oh. -1, 0, and 1. And you see that 1 minus x squared parentheses squared. If you have a whole thing parentheses squared, that's always positive. So the whole thing is positive. I don't even have to do that part actually. I just do it to show you. And 2x just negative, negative, positive, positive. Very easy to figure out that's negative, negative, positive, positive. So the relative minimum is happen at 0, but increasing, the question is asking increasing is 0 to 1, 1 to infinity. Should not including 0. The answer choice has a 0 bracket, but that bracket should be parentheses because that 0 is going to give you 0. It's not really increasing. So it should not including 0. Is that okay? Now derivative of this one, again, you're going to see that pattern again, x squared plus 1. X squared plus 1 never ever become negative. So only thing that decides is ax. You're going to do a critical number at 0, before ax, before 0, and after 0. You got that. So I think this question is asking where does f prime of x is decreasing. Can you tell me now? What's the correct range? Correct domain. It's decreasing.
0 to 3, infinite. Well, it's only in
The graph, I mean, I can understand that graph is probably looks continuous, but I mean, I will accept both. Is 0 to 3 or 0 to infinite. It's okay because you could assume that graph is an arrow. So it really depends on that ends arrow or not. If it stopped right there, it should be 0 to 3. If it has an arrow, it should be 0 to infinity, because that's below x-axis.
What's the question?
The asking is which function decreasing. Of f is decreasing. Now, a lot of people didn't know how to do this one. Let me ask people. Who voted E? Raise your hand. Anybody vote E, stationary?
That question. Would 0 be a parenthesis?
0 will be parentheses. Hayden says E.
No,
but
no, I thought it was a different question.
okay, 14. Does anybody say stationary? Does anybody says concave upwards? Concave downwards? Decreasing? Increasing? Alright, good. That's good. This is just definition of derivative at -2. That's gonna be positive at -2, so slope is positive.
Oh, so that's the negative. Derivative. The derivative for that.
Okay, so can you do a number line test for 15 and 16 and figure out the right answer? I'm not telling you which one is it, but can you do a number line test for 15 and 16
What's it asking?
and figure out, well, they're just asking like which one is the f of x graph. But do a number line test first, based on the graph. Look at, are they above or below? Next year. I think you'd be pretty good. This class has a lot of strong kids. Fiona, you want to do it? Maybe? Eli. Amon will do it. And this class has a strong group.
C is C to start.
I was thinking
Misha, did you figure out the answer for 15 and 16 with the number line test?
The bottom one's hard to
Negative. This one. Okay, yeah.
Wait, actually,
All this. Yeah, that's why. No, this B is a. 16,397. So probably something. No money in it. You had AI also be you. AI over there. Look.
Oh yeah.
Screenshot Google. Look it up later. Oh.
All right, so the 71 is over there. The work is over there. The answer is 612. 72 is I think 2 something something something. The work is on the other side.
Oh, 71, 72. No idea how to do this. Figure it out.
They have to be continuous differentiable. That's pretty much the only thing. Then you have to find out A, B, and C. But you can also find your answer through Desmos as well. So check it out and let's see if you guys can figure out.
Oh, hard.
The really annoying thing is that these very well attached to your right. Wait. A just A equals A. There may be
doesn't have
A
A
there. Well, A is 0, right?
Oh yeah.
No.
E increases on both. So yeah.
Let me reread this question to see if I'm missing anything.
All right, do you guys understand everything? All right, I'm gonna give you today's homework. Huh? 15. The answer is, I think it's B. I'm not sure. The answer is B and a E. Okay, so do you guys understand everything?
771.
Ask Neil. Can you help him out? Help out. Help him out. Seven 612.
If it rounds
Because
out,
then the derivative
then
of
it's
that
flat.
is equal to a, so zero. Oh, I get it. It's the mean value. You plug in,
One and zero.
Does anyone the answer is 612? It has to be continuous at the endpoint. It has to be differentiable all the way through. So you have to take a derivative of all the function. They have to limit has to approach those points exactly equal to each other. But the endpoint has to be defined as well. Endpoint has to be defined. So at end of the interval, it has to be have evaluation.
I can read it. I don't even know what that means. Like it's being able to read like a language. I know the sound of the language, but I don't know what it means. It feels like legible. Also, his handwriting is probably. Is that really Umar? No. We're going to fix his handwriting.
All right, I'm gonna airdrop the homework. First 4 pages. Yeah, that's multiple choice, so the problem's really big. Don't worry. It's not as many problems you think. It's probably 15 problems or 12 problems.
Negative A over.
Oh.
Oh my god.
I sent on somebody help me post on group chat. Thank you. Only first 4 page, not the last page.
Take like two. Yeah, derivative of A. It looks so A is 0. No.
No.
I understand that's not. I just keep getting A to 0. It's starting to be annoying.
He's checking that.